Hi, welcome to the second part of our video series on customizing the user interface in Dynamics NAV. This video will discuss how to customize parts of the role center and the content of FactBoxes, as well as how to set up queues. The role center is the central point for all information and actions. It's also very important in Dynamics NAV because we work role-tailored. So the role center will offer the information that is important for us based on our daily job role, because a bookkeeper needs information that differs on a daily basis from a project manager or a sales order processor. You can set up queues with an indicator that changes color based on the data values in the queues. The indicator appears as a bar along the top border of the queue tile. It could be in green, red, or yellow. It provides a visual signal of the status of the queue's activity, which can indicate various conditions such as favorable or unfavorable to prompt the user to take action. We'll discuss more about queues in the latter part of this video. FactBoxes are used to see information that relates to the record that you have selected in the list or opened in a task page. You can select which FactBoxes to display in your FactBox pane. You can also customize FactBoxes to display only the fields that you need. The Sell to Customer Sales History box highlighted in red is an example of a FactBox. Here's the bookkeeper role. Notice that the activities section show payables, receivables, approvals, and cash management. There are also no queues on the activities to indicate whether the numbers are ambiguous, favorable, or unfavorable. Now I'll switch over to the sales order processor role to see the difference. Here in the sales order processing role, you notice that there are different activities listed, such as for release, sales orders released not shipped, and returns. You'll also notice that these activities have colored queues unlike the bookkeeper role. We'll discuss more about queues in the latter part of this video. Let's look into how we can customize the role center. So the first thing that we can do is go to the application menu, and I can select customize and customize this page. So this will allow me to design my application menu and role center. Here you can see the different building blocks that are currently shown, so my role center layout. And now we can start moving things around. I could specify, for example, that I'd like to display my notifications at the left. I can select this and move it to the left. I could also specify that I don't want to display my report inbox, but instead I'd like to add a chart part. So I'd select this, and then remove it, and then add a chart part. So by doing this, I could get a blank chart. And I'll select Customize Part. Now I can see a listing of predefined charts. So here I can see a number of charts of the different application areas such as production, sales application area, fixed assets, purchases, and so on. For example, if I'd like to have an overview of my fixed assets per location and subclass, I can simply select this chart. So I'll just scroll down. And hit OK. So once I hit OK, you'll see that my role center will change. So here's the chart that I just added, and you'll notice that my notifications are now on the left side. You can also design the different components of your role center. And the first thing I could do is specify what I would like to see here in my activities. So I'll just hover over here and select Customize. So for example, there's a function such as the sales credit memos that I don't need. I can just select this and hit Remove and select OK. So you'll notice that that function is no longer here, and if I change my mind, I can go back again and add it. I could move it up as well. Select OK, and notice that the function is back here. So I can do the same with customers. We can remove my customers and my items. I can select Manage List. And then I can add an item, for example, the Paris guest chair, and hit OK. And if I scroll down, you'll see that the Paris guest chair is here. Now let's discuss queues. Queues are a visual representation of aggregated business data. What you see typically on these queues is a colored bar at the top of the queues, which is an indicator showing the sentiment of a queue based on a predefined value. We can find these queues on Role Center pages. The red indicator and the yellow one are displayed here. We can specify the values that the system should use to show a specific color, and I can do this by clicking here on Setup Queues. So here we can see all the queues currently displayed in my Role Center, and you can see that for each queue we can specify a low range style, a middle range style, and a high range style. And these styles can be linked to, for example, a favorable color, which is green, an ambiguous color, which is yellow, and an unfavorable color, which is red. So here, for example, if I look at the average days delayed, I can see that it's favorable. The green color is everything below 3, so no delay or only 1 or 2 days delay is shown as green. From 3, it could be ambiguous, but Cronus currently has chosen not to show any color, but I could simply say that I would want it to show as ambiguous, so I'll just change that here. And from 7 above, I would want it to show as favorable. You can see that there's an average day delay of 26.3, which is more than 7, which is also then unfavorable. But suppose I would say as a user, for us, it's only unfavorable if it's more than a month delay. I can change the value to 30. And then I'll hit OK. Here you'll see that the value is now changed to be an ambiguous one since it's still below 30. So you'll see that I'm using a personalized queue. This means that this queue is something that I have personalized for myself, meaning the threshold to value of 30 is only valid in my Role Center, so all other users will still see the amount of 7. Now let's look at how we can customize the content of a fact box. Note that by selecting a customer, I can immediately see how many orders we have, how many invoices, posted return receipts, etc. But in some cases, you might also see the fields based on options that maybe you don't use. So for example, you don't use blanket orders, so it's better to remove them. So I'll just hover over here and select Customize. And I'll pick blanket orders and remove, and hit OK. So you'll notice that the blanket orders function is no longer here. And this concludes this video on how to customize the Role Center, queues, and fact boxes in Dynamics NAV. Thanks for watching.